Yay! So welcome everybody to the Becoming Business Brilliant free information call. Actually, this is, I think, the first time that we're doing a call like this. So how does it get any better? And actually, I'm thrilled that we have, I think, like 100% registered for this call, and people are interested in, the program. And I would love to ask Rachel, where would you like to begin? Or maybe...
I'd love to begin just giving people a little bit of information on the program and where it was created from. So first of all, welcome everyone, and thanks so much for your time and energy. I see new faces and old faces. I have a friend on here that I've known 11 years, Miss Eva. So hello, Eva in Denmark, my Danish mama. And actually, it's lovely that we start this way, because for me, business is long haul. It's about creating a sustainable future, and it's about contributing to people's bodies. Hi. Oh, it's about contributing to people's bodies actually having a relaxed way of being in regard to business, because most of us are recovering from stress and compression and contraction. And so where the program was created from was Enjoy Business. We talk about extrapolation, and there's a big difference between extrapolation and what we call triangulation. And so triangulation is when you create business from a point of view, a conclusion, somebody else's point of view, somebody else's judgment, this is the right way, this is the wrong way, somebody else's computation. And so for me, I have to be honest, I had done a lot of programs where you had to do it a certain way, and none of it was light and none of it was expansive. And what I mean by that is it didn't make me, my body, and what I was creating happy. And so then I come to Access and I hear about extrapolation. And extrapolation is when you generate. To generate is you bring something into the world, what you would like to create. Extrapolation is from awareness and consciousness, and it will present you with possibilities that are beyond the mind. Extrapolation is not where you're not looking for where you fit in, okay, or where you're going to win or where you're going to lose. And so for me, triangulation, so this is creating from the mind point of view, the answer. This is where this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad. And so this business program has a very holistic approach where it looks at, and I'm just going to take Petra's body as an example. Here's this being, Petra, who chose a body. She has all knowing, all receiving, all perceiving, all being. She has a capacity that is probably, I'm going to say, not being honored, held in regard. And so this is where, first of all, people come into the program on day one. It's a 4-week program within every month. So the first week is about clearing all the blocks and clearing all the judgments that you have about yourself. You know, do you ever make yourself wrong in regard to business? And it's clearing everywhere where we don't see the greatness of us, and we don't see that actually, Rachel, I get to be Rachel O'Brien, I get to be Petra in this lifetime, I get to be Penny, I get to be Robin, and I know something, I have something to contribute from me being present and in a body. And so that's what call number one is about. And then the second week, you have a full hour private session. And the full hour private session can go from anything from a block in what you put out into the world to taking a look at your generation, creation, and institution, which is when you put something into the world, what is your point of view about it? And so the private sessions can go from the nuts and bolts stuff, which is creation, putting something into the world, where from a block in regard to creation, and also it deals with the personal points of views. What comes up a lot in the private sessions is most people have been gaslighted in regard to business. And gaslighting is when someone has pulled you down or they've torn you down and they've told you that you're not capable of something. And so what I would love for all the BBB people that come, I would love them all to have a sense of their greatness. and what they can actually bring to the world. That's one of my targets, you know? And so that's week 2. And then week 3 is our create station. And I love this. It's when people come in with a project. And let's say if Eva came in with a class, or Penny or Robin, you come in with a project, here's a workshop, here is something that I would like to put into the world. I want to actually bring it in as a reality. And then we look at the connector, the creator, the mover, all the pieces and parts, the extrapolation, the building of the jigsaw puzzle, the media aspect of it, the getting people on board, the logistics of it. And everyone contributes on that one. And then the 4th week, we do something called a symphony of possibilities. And so a lot of highly energetic people have so many capacities, but they go into someone else's conclusion and they tend to get lost in someone else's point of view in regard to business, instead of remaining extremely strong in what they have to bring and what they be. And so that rolls for 6 months. Continuous support, continuous contribution, continuous commitment to putting what you would like to create into the world, continuous contribution, what you have to put into existence to make it happen, and then what you do every day. It might be an hour looking at, hey, what would I like to create today? Okay. And so it's this movement of generation creation and institution, as well as a personal development program as well, where you get support. Okay. Questions? Is that clear? Is that very clear for everyone that it's a 6-month continuous movement so that you can actually get a very strong confidence in yourself and get a very strong confidence in your work? Because if you are creating your business from someone else's program, you can never trust you when you're putting your energy into someone's way. This is where you being you and you using the principles of the Joy business, this is where you get to do it your unique. I cannot tell Robin what's going to bring. I can ask what's life for you. What is it that you can gift to people? What is it that you can be? I just did a session tonight and the person told me their whole life changed after being with them for an hour. They didn't have access to the information before. You know, it was actually about OCD. And so this is where people have massive capacities and they just haven't been actualized because they're working from someone else's point of view that isn't true for them, instead of getting really what is true for you in regard to business, what you know about your business, what is it that you can bring to the world that nobody else has even a glimmer of what it is that you can bring, what is it you can deliver. And so for me, only for the Joy business tools, I would have actually given up because I had decided that I couldn't get business right because I didn't understand judgment. And everyone else is, you should do this, Rachel, and you should do that. And I just didn't get it. And so welcome, Robin, welcome. And so when I came to the Joy business and I started to recognize that I would now create with energy, space, and consciousness, and that I would ask for what I desire to create true change in people's lives with what I deliver. I desire for them to walk away from a workshop or a private session or a program knowing that they can actually have what they desire to have and create what they desire to create. And so the 6-month program is the building of that muscle continuously. Questions?
I don't have a question, but I'll say something. Maybe you'll expand on it. Hi.
Yeah.
I had a conversation. Hi. I had a conversation this morning that was such a contribution to me because it reminded me of all the stickies I have on my wall here in front of me from the business class last year as reminders. And Yeah, it was such a contribution because it reminded me of how I used to think about business and all the things that like truly did stop me. And I think that some of those things that I learned in other business classes, like how to do it this way and how to do it that way, it's like I just felt wrong all the time because I wasn't doing
Me
it
too.
that way and this way. And it also always felt like more work, more stress, more energy. And I remember telling you like last year, like, I don't want to work like more. And, and you were like, you would say things and I'd be like, and now I totally get it. And so I just wanted to say that it was so helpful this morning to think about like what I used to think about business a year ago and what I feel now and know now after working with you.
Yeah, we did actually talk when you got up this morning. You sent me a message, and I sent a message saying Robin came on last year, and she came in with Come Back to Love. First of all, for me, once I heard that, I know that every single person on the planet is looking for love while rejecting it because they've usually grown up in a place where there wasn't that gifting of caring and nurturing and kindness that allowed them to grow and support and the development of their greatness. And so I just threw a few ideas to you this morning. We were just to-ing and fro-ing. And so for me, I was looking at Robin's business and I said to her, hey, how come you haven't trained facilitators to do the Come Back to Love 2-day? How come you haven't trained facilitators to deliver your work? It's beautiful work. It's truly beautiful work. And so what occurs also is that I look at someone's business and I'll say, hey, how come you didn't add this to it? Or how come you didn't bring your yoga into your private sessions, Petra? I know Petra on her teaches yoga and she's an Access Consciousness certified facilitator as well. So things that I see very clearly and that you could add as a revenue stream to your business or start as a program. I also said to, thank you, Adair. I also said to Robin, hey, what about your business program? Is it time to actually create something with mentorship? And so I see things very clearly that people can add. And yet the person will say, hey, I didn't even see that as a choice. I didn't even see that we could do it this way, Thank you so much for that. What else? Any questions? And we have translation if you'd like to ask questions. The energy of asking a question, I'll always talk to you guys about question, choice, possibility, contribution. Because the question for me every day when I get up, usually I go for a walk and I have like a drink, whatever my body wants to drink on that day. And for me, it's always, what is it that I want to put out into the world that I'm proud of? I know for me, I cannot invite people to work that I'm not proud of. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. And so for me, it has to be work that I'm proud to bring to the world. and that's a big part for, I'm going to say, people that really want to create change is they've got to be proud of what they deliver. And the question is, so what is it that I can put in place today that can present to the world the work that I would like to deliver? And so when I started my own business 2014, I became a facilitator of a work called Access Consciousness, and I started on my own. I started doing my own graphics. I started doing my own website. And then it came to the stage where I just couldn't do it all by myself. It was too much work. And I added someone to the business. And now I have Troy working with me full time. Troy is here. Say hi, Troy.
Hi, everyone.
Do you want to tell people a little bit about your part of BBB and your support and coordination and what you bring to the program?
What I bring to the program? Yeah, I think one of the things I can add to the program, mentioning with the program is thank you, Robin. Yeah, like we do have like a Telegram chat like with all the people that actually choose to come to the program, and like they do like people do connect with each other, and I get like they like that's like there's like such a like contribution, and I get like that's where I contributed a little bit more like with the part like just if anybody requires anything, like because I look after most of Rachel's like backend and website, and yeah, like if you have any require anything technical support, or you're looking something, you can always like contact with me and I can contribute in that way. And I get it's just, and there's like one of the things that I see, like everybody, like how everybody do contribute to each other in the program with each other, and actually like contribute to them to grow, because everybody is actually come to the program is looking to grow their business. And like I get like when you are alone, like if something shows up, it can be like really intense, but like when you just like come with like another people, which is for me is really like valuable, is like all the lies like
Yes.
just seems like so much like visible, or it's changed with so much more ease. Like somebody come to a call and they ask a question, and actually something may be going like not exactly the same thing, but is similar thing that's keep you stuck in your business. And for me, like just like seeing that it's a wonderful contribution. And I think like one of the things that I love seeing, like how people actually grow their business and getting actually confident about like what you were talking about with their business. Like I was just talking with one of the ladies that actually did the program, and like now, like she actually thought she couldn't even create a business. Like she didn't even know like why she was in the program in the very beginning. And now like actually she do have like a business, and she's like proud of like what she's creating. And like for me, like that's like becoming business brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. And the group sessions are someone comes in, and a bear who's on here tonight, but she hasn't got her camera on. She came to the first session. She wanted to put classes out in regard to generating money. And her point of view is she couldn't create a team with the generation of the class. And after one session, she came in and she asked for contribution and a connector and a mover and a creator. We go into that in a much more deeper level through the 6 months. A connector is someone who talks to someone about your business. A creator is someone who gives you an ideas. A mover is like Troy. They put the graphics in, they put the website in, they put the back end support in. And so when she came into a session, she actually asked someone for support. And you can chime in if you're here, Bear, or write it in the chat. I'm pretty sure she had 10 people on that workshop. And so for me, was it?
Yep. And it was interesting because I was sorry, bad coughing, but
Oh,
it's short.
contributions to your body.
Thank you.
Oh,
But it was literally there were certain people I wasn't willing to ask for help or like
what? You
trade
weren't
with
willing?
me. Like Rachel's like, why aren't you speaking to that person? I was like, no, I'm not like that. I'm just a basic facilitator. And we ended up creating the most amazing money workbook series.
Yeah, you did. You did. And you went and I said something to you, which is, are you willing, you truly care that people can have a different choice with money? That's one of the things for you. And you actually are brilliant with money. And so you are. And so this is one of the places that you knew that you could contribute to people having a greater choice in regard to money. And so when you ask people to support you in getting the 10-week, I think it was it 10 nights or 10 weeks?
I think it was 10 weeks.
Yeah, when you put the 10 weeks out there and when you ask people to contribute to it, they were like, yeah, of course we'll contribute to it,
Yeah.
And did you have Arabic translation for it as well?
For that, no, we did. No, we didn't.
Oh, and
Sorry.
some people, no, it's good. I'm just like, hey, can
But
we
I
do
ended up
something for your
having a lot
body?
of Arabs on that
And
series. And my point of
okay.
view was they cannot receive from me being an Indian in UAE.
which is a very fixed point of view. If you have a fixed point of view that your Indian culture and that Arabic culture will not sign up for your programs, there's no question in that. There's no choice in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no
And the funny
contribution
story
in
is
that.
that I had that point of view really strong in my head until you made me realize that really, but they're actually signing up for your classes and your money workbook. And I was like, oh damn. So then I looked at it. I mean, we can like it can be such a blind spot, you know?
Yeah. And thanks so much for this. And so people come in, and I do want to say that I had that as well. Hello to your sweet body. I do want to say that I had that as well. I had this point of view because I'm Irish. I wouldn't have, I have a lot of people in Sudan, a lot of people in Saudi. The business is like super global now, Australia, America. And I had the point of view that it would only be European. I had the point of view that I wouldn't be able to translate. And none of that is true. That is an absolute limitation that I've taken on from someone else. And when you come into your private sessions, it's like the limitations in the space of consciousness, which is what we're bringing in all the time. It's like the limitations fall out because something that's not true cannot stick to what's true, you know? Something that's not true cannot stick to what is true. So we're talking in Access at the moment about the need of reactive realities and presumptive realities. And the need of reactive realities is everybody has this point of view that you must go into the need of reactive realities in regard to business. You must go to stress, you must go to compression. Whereas for me, I have to be honest, if I'm like a chicken and if I'm going frantic, nothing yields. Nothing yields. And this is really what's true for me. Whereas when I'm space and when I'm a lot of energy and when I'm this place of receiving everything and judging nothing and not excluding anyone, Arabic, Indian, Jewish, whatever color, race, religion, I can actually contribute to everyone, ageism, and so in the choice of the business becoming business brilliant, I invite you to come away from the points of views that put you in the need of reactive realities in regard to business and actually start to build a trust of you. This whole program is about trusting you. Is it about trusting that consciousness has your back? And if you're on and you're like, I'm not sure that consciousness has my back, then, we'll work on that for the 6 months. For me, I couldn't say, 2014 I started, it's 2023 now, 9 years on, I would not be here today. And the business turned over 550,000 last year. I would not be here today only for energy, space, and consciousness. I could not generate my business from fixed points of views, separation, judgment, and result. As long as I'm functioning from contribution, I will contribute what I know about, business. I will contribute to what I know about consciousness. I will contribute to what I know about the way that we generate. I will contribute to what I know is marketing. Marketing for me is not about selling. It is about inviting people to the possibility and a way of life that your business delivers, whether that be your product or your service. So for me, this way has worked. This way of being has worked. And I don't have to be stressed because my point of view is that when I ask, hey, consciousness, what would it take for me to create a business that brings money and brings massive change, And it does. Consciousness listens and it gives me, if I'm willing to listen to the whispers, it gifts me the people. Like Troy is a total story of success. Like he wasn't working, he dropped out of medical school when I met him. And I genuinely didn't know how I was going to pay him, where the revenue was going to come from. And he came into the business and he generated his own income within the space of 3 months, and his income was going up every month. And here was a guy who was miserable, and he had dropped out of medical school. He knew that wasn't his future, and he knew he wanted to create a different future. And now he's the person who co-creates everything with me, all the classes, all the live classes, all the online programs. And he's brilliant. He's brilliant with business. And more than anything else, he's brilliant with contributing to people knowing how great they are. Because I really want to say the rock of this is based in your greatness, and you have a product and a service that will contribute to our world being greater. And the more of us that become business brilliant, the greater our world is going to become. Like people say to me, do you ever get concerned that someone is going to get better than you? I'm like, I would like them to get greater than me. For what reason? If everyone becomes business brilliant, then we're going to have people that are choosing consciousness, generating business and being brilliant in the world, you know? And so everything that doesn't allow you, all the needs of reaction and all these, everything you've presumed is right, everything you've presumed is wrong, everything you've presumed of, I'm a woman, I'm this age, I can't do it. They're all lies. Everything you've presumed about, I'm living in Saudi, I'm a Mani and I can't do it because whatever reason. They're all lies. Every one of you have something to gift. You wouldn't be here, the tag wouldn't have pulled you otherwise. Letting your contribution be greater than your fear. And you will meet yourself in places where you may have decided that you're helpless or you don't have a choice and you're incompetent and incapable. And for me, there was a moment, and I would say not only one, there were many moments that I had to choose. Do I give up based on my incompetence, or do I train myself? Do I become greater? Because my demand of what is in my world in regard to business and in regard to what I deliver, my demand was greater than my incompetence. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Cool.
Hi, Rachel.
Yay. Hi.
Hi. I just have a contribution something. So last year I was with you 6 months in this program. Oh my God. And I just, when Robin started to talk, I remember my very first session with you, I just kept crying and stuff. And we always say your business is your life. And a lot of the point of views we talked about is actually, it's about life and it's impacting also my business. So 1 year later, I am certified facilitator for Access Consciousness. And tomorrow I'm traveling to Dhahran to facilitate body class. And I have 10 to 15 paying participants. So something amazing is happening. I know consciousness had my back, and I've always fought this with you. It's like, no, consciousness didn't support me, but I can tell you it changes. It changes. This program is phenomenal.
Can I tell people about your first session?
Go ahead.
Or maybe it was month 2. So she says to me, I'd love to do some translation. And I was like, come on and do some translation. She was like, no, I can't. So I forget all about this conversation because I'm not great in hanging on to details. And then, so I go to, where were we? Was it in Al Khobar? Yeah. So I go to Saudi to teach a workshop, and I asked Amani, would she translate? And I looked down at her and she's translating blah, 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 all the information. And I looked at her and I said, oh my God, you remember one of your asks was to translate? And it was, how effortless was translating for you?
Like, it's so effortless. It was like on point with you every single second. And I said before, I sucked. I'm very bad. Oh.
And now she works as a translator. So not only is she facilitating her own workshops and traveling, but she's also working as a translator as well as her own job. So there you go. Yeah, it's beautiful. The stories of change are just wonderful. And that's, I suppose, one of the things that I talked about, Michael, who's on here, he called me and I said, hey, for me, from my business, what gives me enthusiasm, what has to come out of my business for me to be a success is it can't be enough for me for just monetary. That's not enough for me. If that was the way I go, maybe work something else, you know. It has to be seeing the change and watching. For me, the enthusiasm is seeing the change in Amani, seeing the change in Robin's business, seeing the growth, seeing the development. And obviously I enjoy money too, you know, and so it's both, and it's supporting people to grow and supporting people. Yeah, it's just so wonderful. And even if you're just coming on here to have a listen about the program, make a list of what you're asking for with your business and ask, am I willing to be and do what it takes to actually create this, to put the time and the energy into what I wish to create in the world. Come away from wishing actually and come into creation. Beautiful. Anything else you guys would like to know? Awesome. So Robin asked me, would I add a little sweet gift for people that comes on? And it's a very American point of view. It totally is. And she was like, hey, can we add a sweet gift? And I said, of course we can. I have a call if you're coming on, and it's called Your Worth is Non-Negotiable. Okay, this came after there was a workshop that I did and someone attacked me after it, and it wasn't a participant, it was someone's mother. And I made a deal with myself that my worth and my being would never ever be negotiable to anyone again. My price is my price for my sessions, my price is my price for my Becoming Business program, for my body classes. You know, I facilitate a lot of different things for my relationship classes, but my being and my worth is non-negotiable. Nobody gets to have a word or a point of view about the worth of my being, you know. And so this will be added to the program. Michael and Penny and the two others, you'll get it. And the other thing is going beyond the sales of judgment will be added as well. So there's Robin's ask contributed to everyone. Yeah, so there we go. Anything else you guys would like to know? I would love to have you. It's a big commitment. You know, a friend of mine in Austria says, no, it's not. There are programs for 40,000 and 3,500 for 6 months is good pricing. And there's a monthly plan as well. Troy knows more about that. How much is the monthly?
Yeah, it's like €600 for 6 months. So yeah,
per month. Yeah, so it's a fantastic possibility. Again, you know what's true for you. I'm not into forcing or anything like that. I'm into supporting and inviting. And if you're ready to step it up, it's a big commitment. I'm not going to say that it's not. It's a very big commitment. And as Gary Douglas said, if you choose and make possibilities occur about the things that you care about, your whole business and your whole life will become about caring for you. And that is what I would love you guys to have. If my energy and my choices and the possibilities that I'm birthing into the world are about what I truly care about, I truly care about consciousness, I truly care about creating businesses from relaxation and from space. And so if you choose and you bring possibilities from that space of true caring and true caring for what you care about, then your whole business and your whole life will become about this. Ta-da! Isn't that wonderful? That's wonderful. So thank you all for being here. Thank you to, we've German translation. You got on then? Did you get on late? Or oh hi, I hope.
No, I've been checking out the whole thing. I've just been walking around my studio listening to it. I had a great session with the famous Robin Vogel right there early this morning. So that's great.
Awesome.
So I'm all centered with the earth.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
Yeah, I love what you're talking about. This is great. Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Beautiful. So be you, and you know, do it your way, be it your way, and remember, each of us have a possibility to bring what we know is true to our world in regard to business. That's it, with your products, with your services, with everything. Beautiful. Thanks so much, everyone. And thanks again to the translators, the German translation and Arabic translation on the calls as well. So I love that it's international. That's something that's so fun for me.
Hey, I just had one quick question. You mentioned connector, creator, and something else?
Mover.
Mover. But and then these are, how do you I mean, I don't want to take up any more of your time, but how do you choose those people?
So basically, a connector is someone who, if you go to the hairdresser, I'm just going to get you to mute while I'm talking because the audio on your end is, I'm not sure what's creating it. So connector is someone who, I'm a connector, I'll talk to the wall. It's very easy for me to talk to people. And so if I have a friend and she's in Saudi, and let's say she works with kids with autism, that's one of the workshops I teach for autism and OCD. Then I'll tell that person about my friend who's in Riyadh or who's in Jeddah and what she can bring. And so, or if I have a friend in the US and she requires some work with her body and relationship work, I'll put her on to Robin. So that's me, I'm a connector. The creator is the person with the ideas. That's the person that says, oh, you could add this. Oh, how come you don't add, like if you're a musician, you know, what would it take for you to create tunes for advertisements? Or what would it take for you to find someone who has ideas about where your music can go? You know, that's going to bring in more revenue. That's a creator. They're constantly looking at what could be instituted for generating more business and revenue. Okay. And then your mover. I can move, but I'm not naturally a mover. There you go. Oh. Ben, you can play.
Sorry, it doesn't get any better than that. I'm like, oh, what?
Okay, welcome to beautiful. And so mover, so now I can act. So if Ben goes to the piano and Ben is like all day long, a mover is the person who takes your clips, puts them on YouTube, creates a mailing list, sends them out to the people saying, hey, this is Ben's collaboration. This is his creation. You can buy this and you can add this to your meditation. Let's turn this into already. And the mover takes everything and puts it into a physical actualization so that a person can click a link and pay and boom. So that's your mover. There it is.
How do you find these people? Or that's what you do the class for?
You ask, exactly. You ask for them. So what energy, space, conscious and choice can me and my body be to have? I'm asking for 1,150 connectors at the moment. So connector, mover and creator. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I'm still super happy when he joined and I saw the piano. Welcome to consciousness, folks. This is the way it works, you know. Energy, space, and consciousness. And thank you all for being here. And thank you all for your time and your energy. And step on by if this big jump and this big choice, because it is a big choice. I am going to say that it's a big choice, is for you right now. Beautiful. And thanks to all the team. Mwah. See you all soon. Bye. Thanks, Robin.
Thanks,
Bye.
Rachael.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks so much. Bye. Bye.
Bye, everyone.